They do. And I mean, I'd like to interject right off the bat that, I mean, no offense meant, huge Texans fan here. Uh, we came into the season looking at what? 1-16?
Yeah, you talking about the Raiders?
No, I'm talking about the Texans.
Yeah.
I mean, your expectations.
Our expectations, we were looking at about a 1-16.
Exactly. Well, you had a couple of little rough games, but the Texans are playing some football right now.
They are. When we got Stroud in the draft,
yeah,
I had high intentions. I was hopeful. Those first two games, I was scared. I didn't think he was performing. I thought, man, we got another draft quarterback that's just going to lay us on the dust and just not be there for us.
But it takes a minute to get on the same page as your receivers and such as that. And I've watched the last 3 Texans games.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they're not winning by coincidence. I mean,
they're not.
Y'all are looking like a team. You should easily take – I didn't mean cut you off. You should easily take y'all's division.
I think so. I think we're going to get division.
And then, hey, playoffs start at 0-0, baby.
I know, right? He has stepped in. He is starting to man up a little bit. He's got they said he was like 116 passes out of 6 games with no interceptions.
Yeah, and as soon as they said that on air, he threw an interception.
He did, but did you see that interception?
I did, yes.
It was more like of a fumble block, kind of somebody grabbed it, and then it immediately hit the ground and recovered for a fumble recovery.
Right.
In the same play. So does that actually count as an interception, or is that a fumble recovery?
Well, if it hits the ground, I mean, if they rolled it a catch and a fumble, it's a fumble. So it still wouldn't be an interception for him.
Right, even though he threw the ball.
Right, but it was caught, and then it was, oh, yeah, that's right. The other team
did get a hold of it.
Yes, it's still an interception.
That guy took 2 steps, they slammed it, the ball came loose.
Yes.
We picked it up, and we gained like 4 yards on the thing.
But it's still an interception.
Oh, okay, so that kind of messes us up there.
On that line, though, they keep way too many stats in football.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always thought they should add one more stat to what's way too many to begin with. So many of these interceptions are not the quarterback's fault. When it hits the receiver right in the hands and then it bounces and off his shoulder pad and somebody on the other team catches it, that's not really an interception on the quarterback. He did his job.
Yeah, I agree with that. So we're looking at 3-3 now.
Yeah.
And we got a bye week this week, so, that's stress off of me.
Right.
But how are them Raiders looking?
Raiders are also 3-3 right now.
Yeah.
All right. The Raiders have lost Jimmy G.
They lost him.
Well, at least for now. He's injured.
Oh, okay.
And that's where I can rant on because I like Jimmy G. Not the way my wife likes him, but,
She got a little sweetness for him.
But I like Jimmy G. I think as far as, and I'm a Derek Carr fan.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But I think between the two of them, I think they're pretty much same quarterback. I think one's as good as the other.
I get that. Now,
but hold on. Derek Carr missed 1 game in the 10 years that he played for the Raiders. Jimmy G's in his first season and has already missed 2, about to miss his 3rd.
Oh.
That was my concern coming in, was Jimmy G is just, he's too fragile of a quarterback.
Yeah.
They hit him, he's out. We lose him for 3 games. So we play the Bears. I think Hoyer is going to be our quarterback here. I think we can beat the Bears with Hoyer. But I don't know. I mean, just let me know when you want me to get into my real opinions. But for now, let's move forward.
Well, you've got some good offensive weapons too. Mm-hmm. You got Jacobs running in the background. Who's your wide receivers now?
Devontae Adams, but they will not throw to him.
Okay, well maybe who'd you say your new quarterback is?
Hoyer.
Maybe Hoyer will throw to him.
Right.
And you got another one on the right side. Who's that one?
That escapes me at the moment.
It's okay.
It's the little little guy that came over from New England. Now he's a badass little receiver. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But McDumbass will not draw up plays to get the ball to Devontae. You've got one of the top 3 receivers in the league, but because he's being double covered every time, we're not going to throw to him.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you got him in there. You throw to him even in double coverage because his job is to go pick up the ball.
Do you feel like now that you've got, and I know you're going to hate me for saying this because me and you both hate this guy.
Right.
Now that you got Brady in your backfield as a partial owner.
Well, that fell through. Brady is not.
Oh, he's not?
No, that fell through. They would not allow him to sell.
Hello,
right. Yo, back at you.
Yo.
But anyway, no, that fell through. Brady's not a partial owner.
Okay, all right, so that's good. It's because he was always against Garoppolo, and I was wondering if Garoppolo was going to have a chance to shine if he was taking a partial ownership.
Well, I mean, I'm just going to get into the nuts and bolts of this since you want to talk Raiders, and I'm fine talking Raiders, but we're not going to shine. Nobody's going to shine until we get rid of McDumbass.
I got you.
I mean,
I got you.
He's the only coach I've ever seen that can coach you to a loss when you're in a guaranteed win.
Yeah, okay, I get that.
Last year is last year. That means nothing about what we're doing now. But Derek Carr got so frustrated that he just quit listening to the coaches at the end of the Vikings game.
Yeah.
And Derek started calling his own plays.
Right. Well, he was still a Raider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They went down the field, scored the game-winning touchdown. Thank you for that. They go down the field. They score the game-winning touchdown. The camera shoots over to McDumbass, and you can see he is physically mad.
Yeah.
Because they got the win, but he can't take the credit for it. But McDumbass is going to run that team into the ground. I've always been a Raiders fan, but my God, they are making it hard.
Well, back in the 80s, I was a Raider fan.
Right.
Because, I got the Jimmy Plunkett stuff all over my house. I got the shirt signed by him. Jimmy Plunkett was my all-time favorite quarterback.
Right.
All right, because it just happened to be that was his time. But then I moved on, and I have become a Texan fan. But now, my Texans last week played the Saints.
Yes.
The Saints is where Derek Carr is now. And David Carr is my other favorite quarterback.
Yeah.
But I got the little brother.
You got the big brother. I got the little brother. Right.
But anyway, he's in the Saints now. And my nephew is a tried and true Saints fan, has been since he first learned the word football.
Right.
He's always been a Saints fan. And my team played his team, and we won 20-13.
13, I think it was.
And so I hollered at him, like, what do you think about them Texans? He says, we ain't going to do nothing until we get rid of Carr.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, why do you say that? And he's like, Carr is trash.
Oh,
he said he might have been good for the Raiders, but he's not pulling through for the Saints.
Right.
And I was like, for the Saints, he got a couple, didn't y'all get some divisional championships?
The Saints?
The Raiders, when he was with y'all?
Just one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we ain't had none in a few years.
Right.
So that's why I'm hoping. I want to see this year, I want to see our Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I want to see us playing for AFC Championship to go to the Super Bowl.
Right.
That is going to be one hell of a party night.
Oh, yeah.
For football.
Oh, yeah.
Because the Texans with Stroud now are rocking and rolling. And I've got some offensive weapons.
Right.
I've got Nico Collins. Collins is stepping up. He's like I used to talk about Johnson. Easy, Johnson. You're a little fella.
Right.
But he's starting to pick it up. I got old Pierce in the background.
Yeah.
He's starting to come up. And I think we've got a chance at doing something this year.
Right. But I'm going to backtrack a little bit. You need to talk to your nephew.
Got a cat.
Carr ain't the problem on that team. The problem is, well, I don't know. I mean, I'm a true blue, Raiders fan. But I have watched a few Saints games because I like Carr.
Yeah.
But it looks to me like the offensive coordinator is their problem.
Could be. I'll give you that.
Because, we're 6 games in now?
Yeah.
And Carr and his receivers are still not on the same page.
No.
I watched them play last night, and Carr threw a ball, and there was not a player within 15 yards of that ball from either team.
Are you talking about that intentional grounding?
No, it wasn't intentional grounding. It was just a pass that he threw it. And I mean, I'm not telling you nothing you don't know, but, they design these routes. The quarterback steps out, looks, he throws, and the receiver is supposed to be where he's throwing the ball.
Yeah.
That's why they practice all week. Carr takes throws, steps back, throws the ball where the receiver's supposed to be. There ain't nobody within 15 yards from either team where that ball landed.
And that's that intentional grounding rule he got fouled on, right?
Not that play.
Okay.
But, I mean, you can tell that, Carr is just irate over there. Of course, I would be too because he looks like a total dumbass.
Yeah.
But that's just telling you that the receiver and the quarterback are in 2 different time zones.
Okay.
Forget about being on the same page. They're in complete different time zones.
Now, I'm going to jump on your knowledge here because you got a little bit more knowledge on this than I do. My team, Stroud, has went like 121 passes, no interceptions.
Right.
All right. Last week, he got an interception, which confused me. He got an interception.
Mm-hmm.
A lineman caught his ball, took 2 steps, was hit. The ball was fumbled.
Okay.
And then Texas recovered that fumble, and we gained some yardage on that fumble, but it still counted as an interception for him.
Right.
Does that count as an interception, or is that
right?
Because count as a fumble recovery?
Actually, it counts as both. The ball was thrown. The ball was thrown. It was intercepted by the other team. And then the intercepting team, took the 2 steps, made the catch, took the 2 steps required to make a football move.
Yeah.
And then he fumbled it.
Okay.
So your quarterback gets an interception, and your offensive player that picked up the ball gets a stat for a fumble recovery.
Okay.
So both things happened on the same play.
Okay.
That's where I don't want to be a referee.
Right.
You've got to keep up with too many things. All right, let's address Mr. Yes here. All right. Quarterback is the guy who throws the ball. We're talking football, which I know from speaking to you in the past, is soccer, where you're from.
Oh, is this that guy?
Yeah, we're talking American football. So the quarterback is the guy who actually throws the ball to the other people.
Yeah.
Let's see. A fumble is when the guy who is carrying the ball drops it. And bless you also. We appreciate you being here. Yes, baby. Cheers. I knew that was you, baby. I knew it was you. By the way, whatever comes next. But I did want to address, he was speaking to us. I didn't want to just sit there and ignore him.
Yeah, we're not ignoring you. We got into a football conversation. We thought, well, let's put this on TV, the internet, see if anybody's got any comments on it. I'm actually hoping that me and him get to do our version of a Super Bowl, which would be AFC Championship.
Right.
And we're both 3-3, and the year is still early.
That's right.
We have a real good chance of. No, I don't think anybody's 6-0 right now, are they?
No, we have no undefeated teams left.
Yeah, there's no undefeated team, so everybody's got an option to get up there and be an AFC Championship competitor.
Right, but the Raiders don't.
They could.
Until we get rid of McDumbass, we ain't got a chance.
Yeah, see, you're starting to feel that whole 6 years that I went through with what was his name? Bill O'Brien. Yeah, Bill O' Dumbass.
Yeah.
Bill O'Brien was the most horrible coach that was ever brought into the NFL.
Right.
And I'll say that 1,000 times. If I met him on the street, I would tell him, you're the most horrible coach that was ever in the NFL. You should not be here.
All right. Let's back this up a little bit.
All right, then. You saw Mallet.
Give me your list, and we'll just go 3. I'm not going to ask you to go any deeper than that.
All right.
And it ain't got to be Texans. It ain't got to be Raiders. It's period. Through the NFL, you've been watching it several years. I won't ask you how many.
1 or 2.
Who's the worst? The top 3 worst coaches in football.
Okay, top 3 worst coaches?
Yes.
Bill O'Brien, number 1. Okay. Second one, Lovie Smith.
Okay.
I do not think Lovie Smith is all that.
Right.
Third one is give me some elevator music.
All right.
Third one would have to be, I would say, the coach for the Jets.
The current coach or the previous coach?
The previous coach for the Jets.
Okay.
I'm drawing a blank on his name.
I get it, but that's all right. We'll run with that.
All right. What's your 3 worst ones? And McDumbass.
I was going to say.
The Raiders coach right now.
Right. I personally rank McDumbass as number 1, the worst coach, period.
Right.
I'm going to answer Beto's question while I just answer that. He is the worst coach ever. This is his technically 3rd attempt at a head coaching position. He originally was with the Broncos.
Yeah.
And took a winning football team, drove them completely in the ground. Now, you may or may not remember this. He then got hired by the Indianapolis Colts.
Yes.
And the day before he was supposed to report and training camp opened, he backed out and went back to daddy at the Patriots.
That figures.
Right. Now he comes to the Raiders and completely tanked them last season. He got rid of Derek Carr. He is doing everything he can to get rid of Josh Jacobs.
Really?
Who, by the way, was ranked number 1 running back in the NFL last year.
Yeah, he's one of your greatest offensive weapons.
Yeah, and he's playing on the franchise tag right now.
Ah.
So he's doing everything he can to run him off. Devontae Adams, top 3 receiver in the NFL, is just pissed. He says, he just wants to trade. He said he's sick of being a Raider. He just doesn't want to be there. He wants out.
Yeah.
So there's my number 1.
Yeah.
Worst.
O'Brien. I feel like you gave a lot more information than I did.
Right. O'Brien, I'm going to bring in as a steady number 2. O'Brien, I feel like, is a very good coordinator. And you get that a lot. I mean, you can be a great coordinator, but that doesn't mean you're going to be a great head coach.
That's true.
And I actually think O'Brien is a perfect example of that. I think he did a wonderful job working as an offensive coordinator. I just don't think that reflected into a head coach.
I had to disagree with that. I don't think he was a good offensive coordinator because, he came from the Patriots as a quarterback coach.
Right.
He came to the Texans as an offensive coordinator.
Right.
Kubiak was our head coach. Kubiak had a stroke, left the NFL.
Right.
O'Brien came up as an interim, and they said, well, let's just go. And we won like 4 games.
Right.
Still under the tutelage of Kubiak in the background.
Right.
All right. So then Kubiak said, I'm going to go ahead and retire. And then O'Brien, they just said, let's just go ahead and give it O'Brien.
Yeah.
So O'Brien came in and just ran us in the ground.
Right. Well, let me, back up just a hair here. I was saying coordinator. to me, quarterback coach falls under that same.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that.
You can be a great offensive coordinator. You can be a great quarterbacks coach. Or on the defensive side of the ball, you can be the best line coach or, the best coach in the backfield. That doesn't resonate to being.
I got you.
And as for my third choice, and I'm staying with the same theme that I'm going with here, and then the name just skipped my mind right now. But he coached the Cowboys before McCarthy. Phillips.
Oh,
Wade Phillips.
Wade Phillips.
Wade Phillips. An amazing offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
I thought he was a horrible head coach for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
He's still working in the league today as an offensive coordinator. And I mean, they're wanting to build statues of the man.
Yeah.
As an offensive coordinator, but that did not adjust to being a head coach.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah. I agree with you on that because he was one of our head coaches.
Right.
In our early life. And
yeah.
And he was not that great for us.
Now his dad, that was a different story.
Bum Phillips, one of the greatest coaches ever lived.
Exactly. Wade Phillips, he's an amazing coordinator.
Yeah.
But that does not transfer over into being a head coach.
Right.
So
one last thing before we call it.
All right. Well, Hercules says, let's see the guitar in the background.
There's the guitar in the background, buddy.
I'll tell you. Well, I'll speak to Hercules for a second, if you don't mind. I know that's getting out of sports.
Yeah.
I mean, it ain't like we got nowhere else to be.
Nowhere.
Right. Guitar in the background is actually just a cheap Fender Squier, but what I done is I replaced all the pickups on it. I replaced the guards. And it was what am I trying to say? A Frankenstein guitar. It was experimental to me. And I put it all together. My brother-in-law played in some of the bigger bands. I'm not going to mention names.
Toast to Ricky Tipteller.
That's right. And he chose to play that guitar on stage more than once. But like I said, that is a Fender Squier that has been turned into a Frankenstein because it's got pickups, guards, everything else from every guitar you can imagine. It was my experiment. But there's so much history behind that guitar, I've never gotten rid of it.
And the main part of the Frankenstein part is the fact that the guy that picks on it's abnormal.
Anyway, let's get back to sports. I kind of got to, Hercules, anytime you want to talk guitars, baby, I'm here. I'll play some guitars.
He's the rhythm guy. I'll bring my bass over here if we need to get
there you go.
Do some stuff. But on back to football, not to change it up. Appreciate that, Hercules.
Yes, we do.
Going back to just the Houston and the Raiders.
Right.
Who do you think's going to win if we go to a Super Bowl in the AFC Conference yet?
Okay. So the AFC playoffs.
Yes.
Okay. I think Texans will win. I seriously do. I mean, I am a diehard Raider fan for years, but as long as we've got McDumbass in there, we ain't got a chance. And like I said, I love me some Jimmy G.
Yeah.
But we can't keep him on the field.
Hercules saying Raiders. Raiders, I disagree. It's going to be Texans, baby. Texans.
Hey, my heart says Raiders. But, like I said, we've got McDumbass. And then as much as I love me some Jimmy G, we can't keep him on the field.
Yeah, but that goes back.
A trivia question.
All right.
Out of all the abilities, what's the most important ability?
In football?
In anything.
Coaching.
Availability.
I'll give you that.
All right. And with Jimmy G, we do not have availability.
All right. I agree with that 100%. Kyle knows what's going on here.
You wanted me to get all serious, and I did on you, didn't I?
All right. Let's call it. Let's call it. We're doing good here. I think the Texas is going to win if we got to go through the AFC championships.
Houston for life, Beto.
All right, baby. You say Beto?
Yeah.
Like the Congressman Beto?
Well, like beta, like a beta.
Okay, all right. That's okay. But yeah, we're going to take the Houstons on this side. He's taking Raiders. And we're going to see you next week.
I'm not ready to kill it yet.
I have to pee so bad.
We'll go pee. I'll talk to him.
Talk to him a minute. You see me squirming holding stuff over here. Why can't you be a real pal?
Because
we got more stuff to talk about.
Okay, Susan. Hey, glad to see you. And yes, we did get on. College football, I love watching any football. I saw a basketball question up there earlier. I enjoy watching basketball. I'm a Dallas Mavericks fan, but I just haven't found the team that I'm actually rooting for in college football yet. So I like to watch it, but I don't have that, oh my God, I hope y'all understand what I'm trying to say here. But I enjoy watching any sports. It really doesn't matter. Boomers, I get you. So Boomer Sooner made a lot of money off of the Sooners when in the Red River rivalry, but that's a different story to tell, I guess. But all right, what else we got up here? Susan, I addressed, but I cannot tell you. I appreciate so much that we have you watching from Alaska. That's just amazing to me. So, college football for one of y'all? Anybody else? Or I know they show NFL in Alaska, Susan. Who's your favorite NFL team, or do you watch football at all?
Texans. What I missed there?
We was talking a little college football, and Beta had asked about NBA. I'm personally a Mavericks fan. I don't
Mavericks all the way on that.
Right.
Who's your second place NBA team?
I don't have one.
I would go with Celtics.
Huh. Oh, that makes sense. She's from Alaska. They like Seahawks because they're closest
to Alaska.
Alaska.
And we get that.
Actually, I think we just did some rerouting. I believe Las Vegas is closer to Alaska now. We did some. Yeah, we did some.
Yeah. What kind of reroute are you doing? We see you had on Washington.
Yeah, we moved some things around in the United States.
Been a while since my boy Kyle looked at a map.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that it's. It's.
Look, if we're looking at your map, Texas are right there near it.
Right. So I'm trying to get Susan on my side.
Good to see you, Susan.
But Lakers, I have no hatred to the Lakers. I mean, once again, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of any. Okay, Grizzlies. I can deal with the Grizzlies.
Grizzlies are what? Colorado? Who are the Grizzlies with?
I knew that before you asked.
I could have told you.
Oh, now that's cool.
What's that?
Because my old teacher is from there.
And where is it? Yes, it hurts.
Memphis.
Oh, Memphis Grizzlies.
Shoot, okay. I should have remembered that. Yeah, Memphis.
That's where my Oilers went to.
Right. But,
all right, just out of curiosity here.
Well, hold on.
We're going to hold on a second.
Well, I mean, on the same line, because, he said because his teacher's from there. I used to be a fan of Texas Tech because, my ex-boss's children went there. I met their coach at the time. It was just, I had a little connection to Texas Tech.
So you're a Mayholm fan.
Well, if you'll hush, I'll get to that part. But then Patrick Mahomes came out of town, which, to be honest, Mahomes played there when I toured the campus.
Yeah, while my nephew was going to college there.
Right.
And that cost me a lot of money.
Right. But, yes, he did go to Texas Tech.
Yeah.
But he was there when I was touring, when I met their head coach and all of that. But nobody knew who Pat Mahomes was then.
Yeah, at the time.
And secondly, I'm a Raiders fan, and I have nothing but hatred for Patrick Mahomes. So therefore, I now can no longer root for Texas Tech.
I get that.
I mean, that's how my messed up mind works.
And his mind is messed up. I will not deny that.
Correct. But I'll give you Seahawks. I mean, if you can get on a plane that's colored up like them and ride it, I'll give it to you. I'll give you Seahawks. I used to be a Seahawk. I've never been a Seahawks fan. I've always been a Raiders fan.
Yeah.
But they wasn't a team that I disliked.
Right.
Until that damn when we had the interim referees in there and they got the bad call against them.
Yeah.
And I quit really following the Seahawks then.
I remember when the Seahawks first came into the NFL. I remember that. Their first quarterback.
They were the Sea Chickens back then?
Well, basically. They came in and they did not do bad their very first season when they came into the NFL. They had Jim Zorn as their quarterback. Can you back me up on that, Susan? You remember? If you've been in Alaska that long.
Susan might be 21. She wouldn't remember that.
Well, Susan, I apologize for showing you our age. But I do remember that. Do you remember back when you was a kid, you'd get the pencils all with the NFL names on it?
Yeah.
I remember getting that pack back when the teams were still like 26 teams in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And it said brand new team. It was highlighted on the package. And the brand new Seattle Seahawks.
Right.
And it had Seattle Seahawks on the pencil. Below it was their quarterback on all of them. It was Jim Zorn. He was a pretty damn good quarterback.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
In 1970 something.
Right.
Anyways, but I digress.
Okay. I'll buy that.
Okay, yeah, we get that, yeah.
All right. I'm going to have to refer this to you. Was Jim Zorn ever a coach? I don't remember him, but
I don't remember him being the coach, but coach. I've had a few beers. I won't lie, but he could have been a coordinator somewhere.
Hey, good to see you, Beth. I appreciate you being here.
Thanks for coming, buddy.
We'll talk to you next time.
I'll work up on my soccer skills.
You actually, all jokingly, Susan, you're killing me. Now it's the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
I mean, much love to your dad, but
yeah.
Actually, I'm a Raiders fan. Broncos, Chargers, Chiefs. I mean, I hate them all.
Back in the 70s, about 30 years ago, wasn't the 70s.
No, about 50 years ago. You are really showing your age.
I really am. 50 years ago, my old coach, Kubiak, was a quarterback for the Broncos.
Right.
And I actually remember a story when they got to go. I want to say it was
Lions are looking a lot better than I expected them to. But go ahead.
The Lions, you're talking about the soccer?
Detroit.
Oh. I thought we was talking to Yes.
Sorry, guys. He drinks, but no, Detroit Lions are looking a lot better than I thought they would. But, I mean, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
But Kubiak was their quarterback at one time,
and
for the Broncos. And I don't remember if they was getting a division championship, a playoff championship, or what. But they had a point where their quarterback went down. and they were like on their way to the Super Bowl in the 70s, and their quarterback went down. They had to call him at home and say, "Hey, we're down. We have no quarterbacks."
Right.
And the Super Bowl had started, or maybe it's a playoff championship. I forget what it was. Started. He had to drive from his house and make it to the stadium and dress up. He missed the first half of the first quarter, but then he came in. That's a long time ago. That's 1970 something.
Yeah, you're showing your age bad.
Gary Kubiak. That was his name. You know it.
Backing up, I mean, just watching the comments as we come, and I'm not trying to get us off sports, but Susan, can I ask, what made you move, to Alaska?
Oh, yeah.
Or have you always been in Alaska? But
well, if her dad was stationed, she'd been an Army brat, and she'd probably lived in Denver too at one point.
Probably lived all over the country. That's why I asked. She probably lived everywhere. What made you settle on Alaska? And to Hercules, is Lions just random comment, or is that somebody you're a fan of? Up north here, football isn't professional because most ground is frozen.
Well, that's in Alaska.
Well, yeah. But all of Alaska is not frozen.
I feel like it is.
I'll bet you $1 to a dime that Susan does not live in an igloo.
I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna let you have that.
Okay.
Because I do know there's some cities and stuff like that.
Right.
What made you go from Denver to Alaska?
Well, they fit. Both of them are cold as hell.
Oh, yeah.
But
I look like a bad McDonald's Happy Meal toy.
You do. But shit, you got me all knocked off of my thing here now.
Susan, don't show your kids at school this one. We're drinking and smoking. But
oh yeah, that was Susan said that. Yeah, don't show them.
Yeah.
Don't show them this one.
But
so anybody don't know, we do the really wholesome dad jokes and all that.
And all dad jokes are face palmers. If a dad joke is not a face palmer, it's not a real it's not a real dad joke.
But when you get us live, literally you get what you get.
Yeah, we did this one out of the hair of the teeth. What do you got?
We had no intention of being live tonight. We just felt like talking to some people.
Yeah, we did. We wanted to let everybody know we're still around.
Right. So anyway, you about ready to cut this thing out?
I think it's about that time.
All right. Well, hey, we appreciate everybody that came in and talked to us tonight. I enjoyed the heck out of it.
I told you, Army brat.
Right. Well, we figured that. Yeah, after nursing, well, I'll put it up for every world to see. Went to Alaska to work in Juneau, worked on my way up to the Arctic, and stayed and loved it. All right. There ain't nothing wrong with that.
No, you're still American. That's what we like to hear.
Well, I was just going with the fact that, you're living somewhere that you really enjoy being there, but we'll go with yours.
I know we're about the end of the show and everything, but I want to send a shout out to Susan.
All right.
She replies to our dad jokes and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
I want to toast her.
All right, we'll do a toast.
Hey, this is the Susan up in Alaska. Yeah, we know you're in nursing, but we also know that you're teaching kids, from what I understand from the comments. And we want you to know we appreciate you watching, and I hope we're having some kind of impact on you. We hope it's good.
Tonight probably wasn't, but
yeah, tonight probably wasn't. Yeah, we get it because we were drinking. Kyle mainly. But hats off to Susan, man. You've done a lot. You in nursing, you teaching, you come from Colorado to Alaska, and you're really standing up and just being somebody in the community. And I want you to know, hats off to you, toast to you. You're doing great. You're my favorite fan. All right.
All right. Ed's drunk. We need to shut him off. But anyway, we appreciate you. I do appreciate y'all watching tonight. I appreciate everybody's comments on the video.
Yeah.
So we're going to say goodbye.
All right, goodbye, everybody.
Hope to see y'all next time.
And you're just trying